kind of had a morset, like something that morphed into like a slip in a corset. I think we just had a lot of time at craft services, you know, eating snacks and just trying to find the balance. You know, it was hot in Louisiana, hot in New Orleans. We had on these dresses that were uncomfortable. I did in particular. I know you had on a different, no, you did.
Did you have a corset on?
I kind of had a morset, like something that morphed into like a slip in a corset.
We all had that on. It was it's just
hot.
the layers, and to get that dress and the time and the period, it's
Yeah.
hot.
We tried to, you know, joke and bring some fun as much as possible. But I think that the most important thing for all of us was to make sure that we were honoring our characters and honoring our ancestors, and that we were allowing that spirit to come through on screen.
I don't remember keeping a straight face the whole time. If you look at that film, I was like, there's a straight face on there. I was like, people were like, were you breaking? I'm like, yes, I was laughing the entire time. I think that's what appeared on film. Gabby is the most hysterical person in the entire world. And if only a film could be made of all of the takes that did not make it into the film of Gabby being hysterical. So
it'd be X-rated.
It was a dream. Yeah, it would be X-rated.
Yeah. The great thing about that scene is we don't have to keep a straight face.
My gosh, the fun. I think we have more fun, you know, when we're not filming than when we're filming. Like there was such a camaraderie between the cast members, you know, and the crazy thing is that everyone that you saw on screen is nothing like that in real life. I mean, people are funny, they're spontaneous, they're just the most gentle, mild, meek individuals that you'll ever meet. So that was a treat to just be able to kick it, because after, you know, like a harrowing scene, it's like, and cuts like, oh, so you want to do lunch today? So we do dinner tonight? Okay, cool. And action. You know, so it was just one of those things where it was just a beautiful experience. You know, you definitely have lifelong friends after something like that. And to this day, you know, I'm good friends with a lot of the cast members.
Actors get to act so little in our life. You know, it's sort of like only a certain amount of hours. Comparatively to all of the like hair, makeup, wardrobe, press, you know, like auditioning. It's a lot of waiting time. So I feel like when I'm in that space, I just want to elongate it. So I tend to not want to like hold that moment and then break it and then have to mount the energy again to, you know, get back in the moment. So I feel like I'm just like in that athlete's zone, you know, and whatever happens, like if something funny happens, obviously like that's sweet and nice, but I don't try to interject like entertainment or humor into a charged energy space, because I feel like it takes away from the energy somehow.
In the strangest way, I thought that everybody felt like we were making something kind of out there and sort of special, and there was a lot of talk about what we were doing. Like, you know, we stayed very much in what we were doing. It was discussing the piece. We have a very excitable director in Gerard, and Chris, a very sort of astute, rather sort of a bit more of a watcher and a bit more introspective. But the two of them together, it was a constant sort of back and forth, always trying to sort of seek the sort of best sort of version of each scene. It was pretty. It was a special atmosphere that was created.
It's like knowing that you're going to have to walk 3 miles. Like obviously, you know, you know your body well enough that you have to stretch and eat well and rest well. We did a few stunt things to like warm up, but no, I think it was sort of, we were just thrown into the fire a little bit and just sort of see how it works.
I would love to be Robin. She's the cool. She's been around for forever, and she's aging backwards. She's like Benjamin Button, Robin.
She'd be really fine. I would go with Martha Wash. Everyone's too young to know who that is. Secretly, I'm old.
I love Seal. Like, I just love his journey. And I think, you know, why not? Like that's an icon living in and of itself. So I would love to play Seal.
We can do better. They can do better. Those who, you know, create these policies that have long discriminated against hiring. I think more can be said about patriarchy. More can be said about how racist policies continue to deprive us of the brilliance of Black women and Black voices. There are lots of horror stories that have happened as a result, or that have happened that have left Black journalists feeling like they don't have a seat at the table to talk about Black issues.
I don't think that the mainstream media would be great if they started paying attention to us more. I think we have a few voices, but I think that you can find the entirety of a Black woman's voice off of mainstream media. I think one day that will change, and I see it getting better. Like, we do have Angela Davis, we have Angela Rye, we have like a lot of people, we have a lot of really, really great activists who are always repping us, but I don't need to go to mainstream media to find them.
This film has always been important. It doesn't, just because of what's happening now, doesn't make it this it's a story that we need to be told. We've been telling stories like this way before TV was invented, and this is just a continuation of the themes and the cry of the African American community of what they've always wanted, equality, freedom, to express themselves in their own skin and to be treated as humanely as possible like everybody else. But of course, with the latest events that have taken place, this becomes more than a film, in my opinion. It is now, it's part of the fabric of the movement for cultural change. It surpasses the notion of just escapism, but it is rooted with the times and the reality of what's actually happening on the ground. And then it's just shot beautifully. So if anything, it's definitely a magnifying glass to the dynamic or, the epidemic that we're facing within the culture and race relations in America.
I think it's just important to keep this conversation going. I think this is a conversation that has been going on for so many years, and there are times that the mainstream media will give it more attention and then it will quiet down again. And it's at a point where it can't be quieted down again. We can't afford to stop having this conversation. And there's been enough momentum that I think with this film, I hope that this film will affect people in an artistic way that will get under their skin and into their bones and in their psyche and will keep them up at night, and so that they can't just go back to their normal lives after they see it, and we will keep it going.
Absolutely, because you know what? Now the fight for justice has been going on the entirety of injustice in this country and honestly everywhere in the world. And now it feels different. Now it feels like we're at a crescendo of the fight, and there's very clearly no backing down now. So this is the perfect time for Antebellum to come out. It's a battle cry. I mean, who's not a fan of Beyonce?
Who's not a fan of Beyonce? When I think about Idris Elba, I have to lie down alone.
Girl, same.
Kiersey is phenomenal in this film, and I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful you said yes. You were in the middle of doing a lot of things, and the relationship that we have in this film, the sisterhood that we have, the way that we challenge each other, the way that she challenges me in this film is super important. There's the relationship between Black women is very special and so needed, because there's a level of accountability that we hold each other to in a way that is rooted in love, that is rooted in nothing more than to seeing us be our greater selves. And I think that I hope that when people see my relationship with Kiersey, that they see themselves, that other Black women see themselves and see the specialness and the importance of maintaining those relationships. So she is one of my favorites. And I mean, in terms of activism, Brittany Packnett was an inspiration for my role. Maxine Waters was an inspiration for my role. Jovian Zane was an inspiration for my role. Angela Rye, Angela Davis, Asada Shakur. And I quote her in the film, and I say, the only thing that we have to lose are our chains, Harriet Tubman, there's so many. This film does a remarkable job at connecting the dots, the past, the present, and the future. And that is why, I say yes.
There are so many, and there's so many amazing actors that are coming up. Mahershala Ali, I love him. I'm very old school when it comes to my music, but I think in terms of who's current, I'm feeling her. I think that's how you say it, yeah.
I think every month, if you want to celebrate Black history or just Black people in general, if you want to do it every month, find a new Black author to read on. Like there are so many Black authors that I love and respect, from Alice Walker to Roxane Gay, to Ta-Nehisi Coates. There's so much more to learn and so much more to experience when it comes to Black art, and just do that every month. Do it every day if you can.